Thanks for joining today's talk on the latest scams and how to protect your finances, especially as it relates to the coronavirus pandemic. This talk is presented by San Diego County Credit Union. My name is Vincent Delgado. There is my contact info, so if there are any questions that come up in regards to the presentation or you want any copies of this slide to refer back to, don't hesitate to send me an email and I'll make sure I can share this information with you. Again, we got an exciting topic to talk about. It seems as if every day we are flooded with scam phone calls or emails, text messages. We're bombarded with it daily. And so it's incredibly important to understand how we can protect ourselves, protect our families during this interesting and unique time that we are all dealing with. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started here. Just to set the stage for what you can expect for the next maybe 15 minutes roughly, we're going to talk about how scammers are always on the lookout for any and all opportunities during this difficult and challenging time. Scammers are always looking to take advantage during times of vulnerability. And I think we can all admit that at some point in time during the last 6 to 8 months, we've felt vulnerable in a sense, considering the coronavirus and kind of what it's done to everyone. During this time of fear and uncertainty, scammers will set up fake websites, send phishing texts and emails, and try to sell you, phony products or phony services in an attempt to gain access to your personal information. And at the end of the day, that's what these scammers want. They want access to your personal information, be that your finances or any other identifying information that they can then pull resources, again, out of you and your family. So we're going to discuss some current scams, things that we're seeing nowadays, and ways in which you can protect yourself and protect your family. First thing first, let's talk about emails. As I mentioned at the very beginning, it seems as if more and more frequently spam emails are popping into our inbox. We all are aware of the common scams that we get, which we then have to kind of unsubscribe, or just the spam advertisements. But nowadays, there are scam emails that are requiring or calling for a call to action. Click on this link, visit this website, type in this type of information. And again, those are all scams to get us to input our personal information so that folks can then extract that. It could be potentially coming from the Center for Disease Control and Protection. It could be coming from the IRS. It can come from many different avenues. But we all need to be aware that a lot of these things, and a lot of times, it's very fake and phony, and they're just trying to extract that information. So emails may look real, but it's not from the CDC, it's not from the IRS, and we'll get a little bit more into that on this next slide here. But what they want you to do is click on links. You wind up on a site created by criminals to steal your email credentials or other information that you're asking you to input. But we really need to be aware of is that the CDC isn't going to email you asking you personally for any type of information. So if you really need to access the CDC or get a hold of them, or if you're concerned that the email that comes through doesn't look real, visit cdc.gov for the most up-to-date and accurate information. Again, they're not going to reach out to you. Do your own research to ensure that you're following a trusted website, and the email that you're receiving isn't going to cause any harm to you. I teased it earlier, but one thing that's incredibly common right now are scams that are related to the IRS because of kind of the stimulus and what's going on around that, be it, the stimulus that was distributed a couple months ago to the one that is potentially going to be happening now. We don't really know. However, as I mentioned, because of that vulnerability, because of that interest from the general public, scammers are looking to pry on that vulnerability and pry on that desire around folks' need for the stimulus. So do not respond to any emails, calls, texts about the stimulus claiming to be from the government. The IRS is never going to contact you using those channels. They will never email you. The IRS won't call you. The IRS is definitely not going to text you. traditionally, and how they've done it in the past is how they still do it to this day. The IRS will contact you by mail, by old-fashioned snail mail in your mailbox. You do not have to sign up to receive a stimulus check. The process is automatic for anyone who qualifies. And if you really want to see if you qualify or how you can obtain your stimulus, the best thing you can do is head to the IRS website. If you type in irs.gov/coronavirus, there are some sub-tabs there for you to get a status on your stimulus and to see if you're eligible and to see how you might be able to receive it or how much money you're going to get. If someone is calling you or emailing you to confirm personal details like bank account information, social security numbers, any type of identifying information, they might say they just need this info and the stimulus money will be deposited into your account. That's not true. That is a scam. They just want to extract that information from you. So be very wary of folks calling, asking for your information or an email getting sent to you or a text message getting sent to you. That's not true. Again, that's a scam. Head to irs.gov for any information on your stimulus, and you're sure to avoid any scams or being taken advantage of if you just head to the IRS website. Because of the coronavirus, it seems as if we're constantly seeing, vaccination kits or, remedies or at-home testing kits that are either promising a cure. They can identify if you have coronavirus. There's, a vitamin drip that's sure to prevent you from getting coronavirus. Try to ignore any of these offers. These scams include to, boost immunity or, prevent you from getting the virus or, again, being able to take at-home testing kits. At this point at this current moment, there's no cure for the vaccine or there's no vaccine to cure the virus that causes COVID-19. Also, there are no approved tests that consumers can order and test themselves at home for COVID-19. Tests are being conducted around the country, and as it relates to San Diego and Southern California as a whole, the tests are being monitored at the county level. So we encourage you to visit your local county website to go get tested, or better yet, reach out to your healthcare provider, reach out to your doctor if you feel the need to get tested, or if you have any questions around how to stay healthy during the coronavirus. Your best bet is to reach out to your healthcare provider or visit the county website, and they'll share any and all information as it relates to coronavirus and how to protect yourself. Again, as I mentioned, try to ignore these offers. They're really just trying to extract money from you. And not to mention, you don't know what you're going to be given in return. They promise to have vitamin drips or they promise to have some type of remedies. You don't want to take that stuff. You don't know what's in it. You don't know what harm it can cause to you. So again, I can't echo enough. Make sure you're contacting your local, county representatives, or you're reaching out to your local healthcare provider, because they can definitely guide you in the right direction on how to protect yourself and stay away from some of these fake vaccines and fake vitamin drips to boost your immunity. During difficult world catastrophic events, think of tsunamis, wildfires, especially as of recently, in California and across the West Coast, a lot of the kind of social injustice that's happening, and then especially around coronavirus, there's a lot of opportunity to do some good, to make financial contributions to organizations who are helping those that are less fortunate during this challenging time. I think we're seeing, one good thing that comes from these, catastrophes is the general public coming together for, accomplish a common good or a common goal by, donating or benefits concerts and things like that, which are totally great. However, we need to be very cautious when it comes to the donations that we're making. Don't let names that sound like well-known charities confuse you or trick you into donating. A lot of folks are being contacted by phone to donate. Do not agree to donate money without further researching said organization. Always make sure that you're donating to the legitimate organization, and never donate giving your credit card over the phone. If you're making a donation, try to make it by check or maybe even cash as well too. You could be giving your credit card information, over the phone that someone's going to have a hold of now. And next thing you know, again, they've taken advantage of you and your funds are being drained. Don't be pressured to make a donation, over the phone. Be sure to ask how much of your donation will go directly to the program that you want to help. They could be a legit charity. However, they could be just taking money and using it for overhead purchases. So just make sure, again, that you are researching the organization thoroughly. Visit their website. If they don't have a website, that's something to be alarmed about. See if there are any reviews on the charity, if the charity's been in the news recently. Is it good press? Is it bad press? Again, do all of this research. You've worked incredibly hard for your money and your finances. And the last thing you want to do is without any caution, just be tossing that money away. So again, verify the charity's website. Many of us are incredibly eager to help those that are less fortunate, as I mentioned. And many scammers know that. Again, they're prying on that sense of vulnerability. So just remember to do your own research before donating. Practice more caution, and again, make sure that the money that you're donating to a specific organization is going to that specific cause. Be careful when giving out your personal information, especially during a time like this. Don't give out your personal information, such as your credit card number. I've kind of alluded to that on some of these previous slides, especially that last topic of donating. Be cautious of giving out your social security number or bank account information to a caller, especially if it's from an unsolicited call, text, or email. Scammers send fake text messages to trick you into giving them your personal information. These include asking for your password, account number, social security number. If they get that information, they can gain access to your email, your bank, or other accounts, or they could sell your information to other scammers as well too. Scammers will also send fake messages that will say they have some information about your account or a transaction that has been done to your account. Some messages might say that you have won a prize or a gift. These messages might ask you to give some personal information, like how much money you make, how much you owe, information about your bank account, your credit card, your social security number to claim the gift or the prize. Again, these are all scams to pry information out of you. I'm frequently getting a call about my vehicle's warranty. It's a big scam. I'm getting calls about my social security number being compromised. These are scams that I'm seeing every single day. I'm not immune to it. I think we all have our own, calls that we're getting that again are asking us to give any type of personal information, or there's been a hack to your credit card. We need you to confirm your account number in order to prevent your identity from being stolen. Chances are these are all fake. If you have any concerns about your vehicle, if you have any concerns about your bank accounts, your credit card, contact your financial institution or contact the dealership. But again, do not trust the person on the other side of the phone, that they are real and that they are legitimate. They're really just seeking to get any and all of your personal information. Be aware of coronavirus stock scams. It's very popular right now. A lot of folks are getting calls or emails from strangers who are pretending to be Wall Street investors, and they want you to invest in a hot new coronavirus stock, be it a pharmaceutical company that's developing a vaccine or any other type of stock as it relates to coronavirus. It's always best to just avoid these types of conversations, even outside of the coronavirus pandemic. A lot of these folks are just trying to seek an investment to get a hold of your money. And they're using now these COVID-19 angles, saying, this is one that's this pharmaceutical company is about to release a cure for the virus, which isn't true. Don't fall for these schemes. They rarely end well. Know that there are plenty of legitimate companies out there that are addressing the coronavirus, and you don't need to take a risky bet on a not legitimate company. When it comes to anything kind of investment related, contact your financial advisor or speak to your local financial institution about investing. The best bet is to have a financial advisor that can help you invest in these legitimate companies. They're experts in this realm. You and I, for the most part, probably are not. That's why we need to trust the experts with the investments that they're doing. I trust my financial advisor to invest if there's a pharmaceutical company that's going to find a cure. I don't trust what, I read or see or online. I don't trust that as being the truth, so I'm not going to do that on my own. And I suggest that everybody else kind of heed that same advice. So if you're an SDCCU member, you have an opportunity to utilize a financial advisor at your fingertips. If you have an established financial advisor, speak with them about any type of investment options. Try not to go at it alone, because a lot of times we then begin to get taken advantage of. Avoid clicking on any unfamiliar links. Again, this kind of goes back to the emails that we see or the stuff that we see online. A lot of times, you get some phishing emails, or, you'll get an advertisement on your sidebar that's appealing and you want to click on that. It's best that you avoid clicking on any of those links. Common times you'll get an email and it's a phishing email asking you to download this attachment or, click on this link to confirm. Be very cautious of that. You don't know what type of malware is getting on your computer. You don't know what type of viruses you could potentially be downloading by clicking these random links. The best way to determine if it's an unfamiliar or unsafe link, take a look at the sender's email address. What does it look like? Is the name misspelled? Does it not look like a legitimate email address? If you were to email me, it's vdelgado@sdccu.com. Again, a legit email address. If someone's pretending to be, an employee from a specific company, you need to make sure you just check their email address and make sure that it aligns with the company's, the company's website, and make sure that it looks uniform. Anything that looks unfamiliar, chances are it's fake and they're just trying to scam you. So try not to click on any of those links. Use your mouse to hover over closely and expect the email address or link before clicking on it. I mentioned it, but try not to download files from any unfamiliar people. If you've constantly had, email communications with people, chances are you can trust what they're sending you. But for the most part, if it's an unfamiliar person sending you something, avoid clicking on any attachments, avoid clicking on any links, avoid downloading anything. Try to get somebody else's opinion. Maybe ask a friend or ask a coworker for them to kind of review the email and what content is in there. Again, you just want to make sure that you're not downloading anything to your computer. It could be a specific type of software that a scammer is using, and then they have access to everything that's on your computer, from account numbers to personal information, and that's not a good situation to be in. What happens if you fall victim to a scam? What happens if some of the ones that I previously mentioned you accidentally did? And it happens to folks all the time. Really being proactive and protecting your personal information is the best approach to staying safe from scammers. If, unfortunately, you have fall victim, you can report suspected fraudulent emails or calls or texts to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Internet Crime Complaint Center. Again, that was a mouthful, by going to www.I as in igloo, C as in cat, and the number 3, IC3.gov. The FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center accepts online crime complaints from either the actual victim or from a third-party complaint. The best process is really to make sure that you obviously, if you're the victim, you have your name and your personal information when reporting this. But if you're not a victim and you just want to report it, make sure you take down all identifying information, email address or subject name or phone number or attachment that it asked you to click on, any type of email headers that may be able to tie to that specific sender or person, or any other relevant information you believe is necessary to support your claim. Kind of in closing, as I mentioned, during difficult times like this, scammers are really trying to pry on those that are vulnerable during difficult times. And it's really about you being proactive and making sure that you are doing everything you can to protect yourself and protect your finances. And so just make sure that you're being careful with phone calls, with emails, with text messages, doing the best you can at protecting yourself. For more assistance, don't hesitate to visit Balance. Balance is a financial education and counseling service. We partner with Balance, SDCCU does, offering services like money management counseling, debt repayment options, credit report review, and much more. So feel free to call toll-free at 888-456-2227 or visit balancepro.org. Thank you for joining this talk today. And let's all make sure we're practicing being safe, not only with our personal physical being, but with our finances and our personal information as well, too. Thank you.